Minecraft is one of the most beautiful games I have ever played, and I'm so lucky enough to call this my base. But you know who isn't lucky? Apparently, these goddamn villagers, look at them. They've got all the space they need, but they sit here and complain and complain and complaining. Well, guess what? I'm sick and tired of it, so I decided to build them the biggest and the best trading hall in Minecraft history. And you're lucky enough to see the process of it, so let's get into it. Hello. Alright, we do need to separate this at least a tiny bit. So, number one is designing the entire city itself, which will be based around the city Whoville from the Grinch movie. We start with one house and see what happens.
Wow.
Does that look like the right size? I can't even imagine the house right now. So it's no secret that I was struggling a bit more than expected. Because of the weird shapes of the houses and all the small Christmas details, it was taking so long to perfect the design. With one house design taking us 1 hour and 30 minutes, how long do you think this is gonna take? We still powered through it though and got the house back done. My goal was to make every house still feel unique without having to overcomplicate it. And after completing the first set of houses, I decided to copy and paste them around and change up the colours, because Whoville is quite a colourful city. And I was super happy with the end result because it really brought out the vibrance I was looking for. Bro, from afar this is gonna look sick. And then up close it also looks good. We cooked. Okay, wait. Why are they throwing waffles straight into the bag? Great question, Ernest. But a better question is, what's next? Starting off on day 2, I wanted to add some references to the Grinch movie itself. So I decided to recreate Cindy Lou's house. This house is going to be such a big trust the process. But listen, type 1 if you trust the process. I know our original plan was to give this house interior, but I don't hate it. Now, if I do say so myself, I think it looks pretty good. But now, what do we tackle next? This building right here, chat. So this clock tower and this building, this is my villager trading hall, and this is just a clock tower. The biggest challenge with building the Whoville buildings is the weird shapes and colors that Dr. Seuss portrays. Trying to recreate it into Minecraft blocks isn't easy. Sorry, I'm so lost with this builder. This freaking clock tower. But with enough time and effort, it's always possible. Oh, and how could I forget about the chat's encouragement? Just make a clock tower. You're so right. With the size difference of these buildings, I tried to go all out on the details to make it look as epic as it does in the movie. And using the bricks for these buildings was so fun because it prepared me for the rest of the city, because the city's covered in brick. Holy crap, it looks gorgeous. Hey, I'm happy you like it. You know, everyone else in this chat freaking hates it apparently. It's time to build this building next to the clock tower. How does one build this? Like, how? Oh yeah. This building was one of the hardest ones to execute properly. It was just such a weird design, and no matter what I did, it just didn't seem like it was coming together. Alright, let's work on these roofs. Hopefully the roofs make the building look a bit better. Popping the snow on top of the roof was like icing on a cake. It really fixed the shape, and it also made it look perfect. Alright, steps here, round here. And that seems to be like the entire thing. With this part of the build, I was actually quite proud of myself. I was able to make it look cartoony enough to be Whoville, but also make it look good in Minecraft. So that is what the clock tower and the town hall look like. We got that done. Let's make it nighttime, see what they look like at night. Ooh. Now that brings a close to designing the buildings. But Whoville ain't just the buildings on the flat flooring. It's also got the mountain and that weird shape. So let's get started on that. Yeah, this is not realistic. We're not getting this done in hardcore. If this is the scale. Figuring out the scale of the mountain was not easy at all. We took a lot of trial and error, but I think we got there in the end. Ken, if I was...
A megalomaniac has forced many villagers to live in such confined spaces with no living areas. This is villager Maze, and we are being treated as slaves.
Can you speak without a tongue? My tongue is at the top of my... No, I don't think you could speak without your tongue. I attempted recreating Dr. Seuss's magic by connecting all of the houses to make the city feel alive. Alright, so it's officially been 1 week of building Whoville. This is what the progress is looking like. We've got most of the upper part done. Of course, they're still missing a couple... You know what? I give up! Another thing I made sure to do is to follow the reference very closely. That's why it hopefully looks exactly how it does in the movie. I've worn women clothing before. If it fits, it fits. So the first house you see once you come in seems to be a tall red house on the left of the bridge. So let's add that in. So pop that in just roughly around here. One of the most useful mods I've ever installed is called Axiom. One of its features allows me to copy and paste the houses I previously made, which is how I ended up getting this done way quicker than usual. So, with that knowledge, now you can watch this satisfying time lapse. So, if I'm not mistaken, every house, only the houses, have been placed. This one path, no, because if we fill this up too much, it won't be right. We're filling this with trees. This will have a bunch of mini trees. Once the trees are in, it'll look extra full. Huh. So, I wonder, what do we do next again? Mini trees. Beep, 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 beep. So the trees have to be fully white, because they're like all snowy. Let me cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Minecraft, can you please add white leaves? Because for some reason I had a distant memory of those existing, but they didn't. So we had to make do with these blocks. Are these good trees? After making the trees look pretty spiffy, I decided to focus on some smaller city details to fill up that empty space between the buildings. Hey, you want to see something cool? Wait. So if I do stamp, then I add blueprint, then I search up tree, then I add this, right? And then I add another blueprint, do this, right? If I do this, right? Bigger tree, is small tree, and then like this. Bro, tell me that's not cool as fluff, bro. And now this was one of the most important parts for me, because before you would look at the city and it would feel so flat. But with the trees and details, it definitely made the city feel more alive. Tomorrow is the last day of creative, 100%. Today's the final creative day, chat. Today's the final creative day. We gotta make sure to get a Christmas tree.
This guy stinks!
That was the perfect cut. Whoville is looking beautiful. Now we gotta get a Christmas tree done. This was actually my first time tackling a tree like this, so it took a bit longer than expected.
I would shove that up that one classmate's butt.
What? No, you're not shoving this up anybody's butt. Now, listen, it is a bit weird to always have a Christmas tree and Christmas details surrounding the city, but I do feel like it looks good even out of season. Sourdough, lock in. Adding a bit of context to this situation, I was really struggling on the star for the tree. And the reason I was so excited to see the chatter sourdough was because they previously helped me figure out the question mark on the mystery shack. I've been trying to make a 7-pointed star for the top of this, and it sucks balls. Are you free by any chance right now? Unfortunately, they were free. So, big shout out to Sourdough. Oh yeah, that looks good. W-Tree! W-Tree in the chat! And now with the Christmas tree done, the only task left is finishing all the details on the top. Alright chat, watch this. Let's see what Whoville looks like. You ready? After 12 days of designing Whoville, the design is officially complete. With all of the details from the movie and the entire city being connected, it makes for the perfect outer shell for my trading hall. Unfortunately, the job is not finished yet. Now, we need to transfer this to my hardcore world. So I let Old Ernest explain to you how we're gonna do this. Let me teach you. This is the creative design. As you can see, it's in creative, it's in super flat, right? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it a schematic. And once I make it a schematic, let me use my mystery shack as an example. Once I make it a schematic, I place the schematic in my hardcore world, and see this schematic, this shows me how to rebuild it. Well, it just makes it way easier. I can go around just placing the blocks, la-di-da-di-da, not have to stress about it. Once I do that, then it's officially, I've transferred it in my hardcore world completely legit. Well, I used the Limatica, but like I have to gather the materials and everything, and now look, in my hardcore world, now I have the mystery shack. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Sorry about the lag. I'm gonna be building Whoville in my hardcore world. Alright, you're now all caught up. Welcome to number 2, the gathering materials. In Whoville, we need a lot of basalt, right? Right now, this is our only basalt farm. This is not gonna cut it. So let's try make an automatic basalt farm. So I thought starting with the Redstone Farms would be the best idea, because seeing what materials I would need the most, I knew it couldn't all be done by hand. For example, I needed like 600,000 basalt. It works or doesn't work. Let's go. We freaking did it. We actually did it. This is all the materials we need for the witch farm. After the basalt farm, I decided to make a witch farm for redstone and glowstone. And once I completed the farm, I decided to test it on stream. This might have been a mistake. I need to quickly go downstairs and make some food. Should I call Millie?
Hello, my dear chat. How are we all doing today?
So I normally let my girlfriend come onto the stream and talk to chat while I go downstairs and make some food. This time I thought it would be super efficient to test the witch farm while I'm gone. Although, when building the witch farm, there was one crucial thing I forgot.
OMG. T, you're right. Is that his hardcore world? Is that his hardcore world? Please don't tell me it's his hardcore world. No. Ernest. Okay. Shh. Shit. I'm gonna. You have to go upstairs. You're about to die. You're out of hunger. You're alive? Oh, he's gone again.
One of the most important farms we definitely needed to check off was a snow farm, so I made sure to do that next. Please work. Then, to hold all of the materials, we made a shulker farm. Of course, couldn't forget about the frog life farm because it's one of the most important parts of the houses. And now, some people might not be a fan of this, but it's the most efficient method. We decided to make a sand/concrete duper because most of the buildings are made out of concrete and we used a lot of glass. That means we'll need a lot of smelting, so I decided to make a giant furnace right before we finish off. We didn't have to build too many farms because we already had some in our hardcore world. So the only thing left was actually getting those materials ready so we can build. And it was not a simple task. With a total of 1,441,357, there was quite a bit of materials to gather. So let's not waste any time and enjoy. Starting off with one potted poppy. The first material for Whoville. Look at it, bro. Oh, yeah. One acacia hanging sign. All right, we got 2 dead brain coral fans. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Done. 3 grey candles. Complete. All right, we need 3 nether bricks. What the frick is a stripped warped hyphae? All right, so we need 8 spruce signs. Don't expose me, all right? Don't expose me out to the mothers out here. I need to make sure these mothers know that I'm on the market. Wait, I'm not. I'm taking. $15 paintings complete. Okay, what the? My mic. Oh. Birch shelf. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty fun, but we would be here for so much longer if I had to show you every single material we gathered. So instead of having to sit through an hour of me doing that, here's the stats. With 16 days of streaming and 120 hours total, I luckily only cried once. And I didn't die in my world. Oh, and I forgot to mention we did indeed get all 1.4 million materials. So that just leaves us with building it. Now, I'm not one to keep people waiting, but there is one last step. This is where we will be building Whoville. And as you can see, there's a lot of icebergs. So let's flatten that out real quick. Ice, ice, baby. Let's freaking go. You're wired to a... my pick. I got distracted. Oh, what a peaceful little family. Look at them. To be honest with you, it actually didn't take that long, but I felt like we had to include this just so you guys had a very good understanding of the whole preparation for the build. What the hell just happened? The first block of building Whoville. You ready, guys? In 3, 2... Oh, wait, I don't actually have snow blocks on me. Wait, give me a second. We've started building, boys. Let's go, lock in. Step 3, let's actually build this thing. Oh, there's nothing more that I love than placing blocks in Minecraft. Just don't tell my wife. Now, instead of going layer by layer, I decided to go by sections. So, starting with the snow. Let's see how satisfying this is. You ready? I fell. All right, I ruined the satisfaction. My bad. We were flying through this part because it was really simple. This is the biggest snow layer. We're gonna get a timer and see how long it takes. Hopefully the glowstone can stop a lot of mobs from spawning because this is just gonna be a freaking mob spawner by the end of this. It's already 1 a.m. How many blocks have you placed so far? I don't actually know, but I did place a lot. Boom. Boom. And pause. 1 hour. 36 minutes. Day 2 of building Whoville. All the snow, I believe, is completed except a couple on the actual mountain itself, which is fine. All right, let's get started on the walls. Starting off on day 3, I decided to tackle the walls. Ooh, the outline is coming in. Now, of course, this was a bit slower than all of the snow, but this was still so quick, and it was just as satisfying. The mogging cat. True, he does mog. You guys, look at this. Oh my god, look at the mog. Now, the walls did carry over to day 4, but in the end, we of course got it done. Now, what we gotta do is start placing the basalt. Originally, I was gonna do all of the mountains out of deep slate, but I'm so happy I switched it to basalt. Cause imagine gathering this much deep slate. Yeah. What just happened? The snow, bricks, and basalt made up most of the build, so it made the most sense to get these 3 sections done first. Let's not worry about what we have to do. Let's worry about, I don't know, let's just not worry. Even with it being the same material over and over again, it still wasn't quick. But finally, after 7 days, the big 3 sections were complete. I think the shape is done. Sick build, man, thank you. This is only the start. We're back building on Hightail, day 8. Let's go. Let's go. I think today we're gonna get the trees. The reason we decided to tackle the trees next is because the materials are super easy to swap between. So this should hopefully help us speed up the building process. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, music sometimes, like, you know, it turns my brain on, you know, it kind of turns it on. Due to the amount of trees, it took us up to day 9 to actually get them done. But it was so worth it, because it also lit up the build with some hidden lighting. Alright, let's do these lamps. Talking about some lighting, I thought the lamps would be perfect to tackle next. I don't know where I'm missing lamps. I don't think I am. I just have 3 leftover blackstone. Oh, no. Point proven wrong. Finishing the lamps gave me a lot of confidence. And with that confidence, I knew I was ready to start one of the main parts of the build, the houses. Alright, this is the first house, baby girl. Holy, kind of feels like monumental. Building the houses was a bit more of a pain. The variation of blocks and the details being different on each building, I knew it would take way longer to build. I tried approaching it with the strategy of focusing on one color at a time, but that ended up feeling very lethargic. So we scrapped that idea just to get more done. Sometimes you need to listen to a little Northern Irish fella complain about, like, Minecraft. Although I barely complain, I'm easy to please. So that's not none of your business. Being on
Hey,
some
Aronis,
levels.
guess what? Knife.
What? Did you just attempt to stab me through TGS? Ernest, get in the naughty corner. No, I'm not sitting in the corner, okay? Am I free yet? Okay, you know what? I feel stupid for the 4th time falling down now. If I fall down one more time, I guess, like, I have to start an OnlyFans. Even with the use of Lightmatica to build this, the sheer scale of the build still won, because the houses alone took me over a week. But it was so worth it. With the build coming together now, it really feels like a dream coming true. And now, we're only left with the last part. Guys, we have officially completed all of the houses. That means it's now time for us to start the big buildings. Let's get this done. Now, even though these buildings are pretty big, there shouldn't be too much trouble since the materials aren't too varied. Bro, my brain is starting to turn off. Might have to end after this. It was on, starting to turn off. Was it ever on? Okay, what the frick? One thing you might notice is we're ignoring the bamboo details. I did this so we could speed up the process of actually getting the main part of the building done and then go get the little details done after it. If you're straight and you know it, clap your hands. I didn't clap my hands. With the clock tower being right next to the town hall and it having the same materials, I thought I might as well get that done while I'm here. Oh my! Why did I get so scared of the bats? Watch this, watch this. Oh, that was so satisfying. You know what else is satisfying? Alright, now with all of the big buildings at the top done, now we, wait, what? Wait, the video's not open. Oh my god! This is supposed to be a trading hall. Oh, God. We didn't even make a trading hall. Luckily, we kept the entire inside of Whoville hollow, which, ironically, makes the perfect space for a trading hall. It's like it was planned. When it came to planning the trading hall, I didn't want to swap up the vibe too much, but I didn't want to keep it too Christmassy. So the inside of the trading hall was more inspired from magical library / magical hallways. Oh God, no. Oh my God, goodness, what the... I didn't really have a reference for the design, so I was just kind of winging it and hoping it looks cool. I love the symmetry of this build, so I try to keep it like that throughout the whole trading hall, especially with these beautiful hallways. Call me cheap, call me lazy, but the one thing you can never call me is a predator. Once we started going deeper into the hallways, I really wanted to lean into the library theme. Mixing the library theme with the magical theme just fits so well, so I tried to do it as much as possible. Maybe even too much. Like, I really couldn't explain to you what this design is, but either way it looks cool, so win-win. But this is a pretty cool place to end off for today. This is a good start to the trading hall itself, and hopefully by tomorrow we can get the entire trading hall done itself. Mom, Ernest is being experimental again. Now that we're entering into the main trading hall, I wanted to hide some references to the trading and just Minecraft in general. So you'll see stuff like creeper faces and villager faces all around the place. This might be the best trading hall to ever exist. Once we actually got the villagers in, it started really coming together. I love the size of the trading hall and how menacing it looked when you're walking in. Look at it, bro. Oh my God. Oh yeah, this is gonna be the best trading hall in Minecraft history. Let's finish it today. When I started doing the minor details, I've really started embracing the magic, with floating lanterns, with alchemy tables, with books everywhere. I also made sure to add an enchanting section and a nether portal section for my trading hall. Overall, the design didn't take too long. It only took around 4 days because it was such a smaller space compared to the rest of the city. And I think it turned out awesome. So now we just gotta gather the materials once again. All right, the first material for the trading hall is a torch flower. How do you get a torch flower? Oh, we did it! Oh my God, wait, that actually didn't even take too long. Torch flower. There we go. Do that so make a copper lantern. Izzy is a twin. Oh, there we go. 5. Is that a blue forest? Yes, sir. So it doesn't show, it doesn't... Twice? Yeah, in case... Blue stained glass pane. I mean, you're on a hold. Luckily for me, we didn't have to go searching for every single material because of the farms we have in our world. Especially all the sandstone, which would have been a pain without the duper. Nearly dying to award him because of a stupid village trading hall. We thought this would be a good idea for the stupid trading hall. And now that we've gathered the 90,000 materials needed for the trading hall, that means we could start building. And that also means we're in the end game now. When we actually got to building the trading hall, the progress was insane, so we flew through the process. I'm not a carrot. What was that? To be honest, the only issue I ever experienced building this was the variety of materials. But other than that, we were chilling. Blood is using a schematic. Blood can't remember how to build 80,000 block build from memory. It's true, Caleb. I'm such a bad builder, bro. Chat. Ugh! Why did I use schematics, bro? Mother floppa duppa shuppa. I'm not gonna stretch this any longer than it has to be because you're already like 30 minutes into the video. So let me show you the final moments. my god. Oh my god. Is it? No. Is this real? Looks nice. Good job, Ernest. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching my journey. If you want to build this for yourself, the schematics for this build is available for free on my community Discord, linked in the description. And if you're curious what's to come next on this world, I'll leave you with this.